the only one with the weird username, Student Services Health, and
Yes, I will change it. This is my work computer.
Bye.
Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time this evening. How's the married life?
It's been good so far. It's been nice. Made it a full week.
Yeah, we did. 1 week.
Did you do the human sacrifice after I left for your little cult?
Oh my God, for sure.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was under the tree.
In the moonlight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Had to wait till darkness. Sorry you missed it.
I want brides who are planning their wedding now to know what their different options could be. Hi, my name is Asia, and I am the founder and owner of Photo by Joy. And with me today, I have Dylan and Hope, who are my most recent couple. And they have agreed to share with us a little bit about what they decided to do for their wedding amidst a global pandemic as a part of our blog mini-series that should help all you brides out there planning your wedding right now to feel some comfort and some hope. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So tell us what the process of figuring out that there was a pandemic and then trying to handle and shuffle your wedding around that. What was that like, and what did you decide to go with at the end?
Great. So originally our wedding was supposed to be in May of 2020, and it was going to be this very large formal wedding in downtown Dallas. It was going to be very nice kind of city wedding. And then the pandemic hit, and we tried to at first. Things were supposed to be opening up in May, but we soon figured out that wasn't going to be happening. So ultimately we decided the best option would be to push the wedding till next summer, because we didn't know if things opened up, if they would shut back down again and how that would look. So we didn't feel comfortable just pushing it into the fall or something like that, or later in the summer. And so we pushed it to next year. And but we also wanted to get married this summer. And so we decided to have a small wedding this summer with just our close friends and close family, and then have the big wedding with everybody on the 1-year anniversary next summer. And so that's ended up what we did. And we had the big wedding in 2021 is going to be the exact same one we were originally supposed to have in downtown Dallas. And then the small one was at a friend's property. And it just was with a few of us in a field.
Was it like navigating that as a couple together? And was there anything that you kept coming back to, like a truth or a mantra, or like what would you tell each other when stuff got stressful before y'all decided to do that?
I was just sad all the time when we were making decisions. Dylan handled it much better than I did. Dylan did handle it much better than I did.
Well, I was also much more wrong, because I thought it was just going to be like, whatever, we'll go home for 2 weeks and come back. And so whenever it got to be like 3 weeks before, like a month before, it was telling everybody like, hey, we don't know what we're going to do yet, but we can't do it. So, and eventually we had to pull it all together after that, which was fine, but it was definitely a bummer. But we definitely felt better after we made the decision. For sure. Yeah.
Once we decided to push the wedding and have a smaller one, we felt a lot better, because otherwise nobody knew what was going on. None of our guests did. We didn't. And so
it sounds like as soon as you decided stuff, your brain would stop stressing about all the other potential, chaotic things that could come up.
Yes. And it didn't necessarily feel great having to postpone the wedding we really wanted for another year. But it did make us feel better, because we weren't worried about it anymore.
Well, we had to do a lot more work and a lot more planning. We had, plan a whole nother thing. We had to do a whole nother thing. We did a lot of work for that wedding. So it wasn't awesome, but definitely we feel great afterwards. Like, we're really happy that we did it afterwards. So.
Which part of the day or which set of photos were your favorite?
For me, honestly, I wasn't expecting it, but I really loved the photos that we took right after we got married, as we were walking down the aisle, and then right before we started taking all of the formal photos. I really liked those a lot, surprisingly. What about you, Dylan?
I just really liked the ceremony photos. I thought they were so pretty. I thought she was really pretty in the ceremony photos, so those are definitely like my favorites.
I love the confetti pop. That was just so fun.
We had no idea about that.
Yeah, that's like a my mom thing.
Yeah, we were about to walk down the aisle, and then you walked up and you told us to stop, and you told us where we're supposed to kiss when we're walking down the aisle, and we saw everybody grabbing things. We knew they were going to do something, but we didn't know beforehand until that moment.
Oh my goodness.
My advice would be to rely on your friends and family for it if you're doing a smaller one like we did, because the thing was, like, we made the food ourselves and the decorations ourselves and all of that, and I kind of wanted to either buy it all or be in charge of doing it myself, just so I had control over it and I knew exactly what it was going to look like and it was exactly how I wanted. But ultimately, people ended up helping me because they had to, but it wouldn't have been able to come together because there were so many things that I wasn't able to do. And so our wedding ended up being really pretty, but it was just because we knew somebody that had some land and was willing to let us use it. And then we knew Dylan's family is really good at cooking, so they could make our food. And then we also had some relatives that were good at painting and making decorations, and so they were able to do that. And so we just used people that we had around us. We didn't go out and plan an entirely new wedding with we did, but we didn't buy a new venue, get a new this, get a new that. We mostly just relied on people around us. So I would say if you're planning a second wedding or whatever alternate version you decide to do rely on your friends and family that are offering help, because it makes it way easier, and nobody really cares if the pie looks slightly different than what you thought it was going to, you know what I mean? So that would be what I say. Just rely on those things that you have, because you probably know somebody with a little bit of space.
Try the most that you can to enjoy your wedding. We went to a wedding last year and talked to the couple, and they said we didn't enjoy the wedding, even though everybody else had like a ball at their wedding, and like Hope was super stressed the whole time over the wedding. So it's like, you should really try to enjoy your wedding as much as possible. And then I would just reiterate what Hope said about just like, there's something about just like it does take a village when it comes to like real existential universal things like this, where it's just like everybody kind of chips in a little bit and helps out. And it's just, I don't know, it's really cool to see that, and you really see who comes through for you. But it's important to rely on that, not to just like do everything yourself, because you're gonna die. Like, it's awful. Like, nobody's gonna notice that the pie was cut 8 times or 6 times, right? Like, nobody is gonna notice if there's strings of lights out somewhere or something like that. And it's like, it's the things that the things that you notice are not gonna be the things that bother other people about your wedding. They'll either find something that bothers them specifically that you will have no idea how to prevent, or they'll be just happy to be around you. So you should, I don't know, just like drink a little bit at your wedding, have a good time. Don't worry the whole time that everybody's not having a good time, because they love you, they want to be there, or they wouldn't be. So, yeah.
Preach it. I feel like I need to do a podcast with you guys and your sage words of advice. Thank you.